Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed Akakzaya, and today I'm very glad to introduce our recent paper entitled Grounding Language to Autonomously Acquired Skills via Goal Generation. Our main objective is to design artificial agents that can learn on their own and with a tutor, for example, a human teacher. In order to learn on their own, these agents need to generate their own goals, pursue them, and learn from their own reward signals. These properties describe the intrinsically motivated goal exploration processes. In order to learn with a tutor, these agents need to fulfill language-based instructions, and this describes the class of instruction-following agents. It is good to have behavioral diversity, as it can be useful for intrinsically motivated agents to learn multiple ways to reach a single goal, so that they can change their strategy whenever they encounter failure. It is also good to use language to express a goal, since language is a good way to set constraints on the state space. A viable way to train instruction-following agents is language-conditioned reinforcement learning. In such a setup, the policy of the agent is directly conditioned on a language embedding that comes from a language encoder, which is usually trained jointly with the policy of the agent. However, this joint training can be problematic. In fact, language-conditioned reinforcement learning agents require necessarily the language input in order to behave and learn. By contrast, preverbal infants do not require language inputs to behave and learn. Actually, they show goal-directed behaviors without even mastering language. Finally, language-conditioned reinforcement learning limits behavioral diversity, as there is usually one learned way to achieve one instruction. We propose a novel architecture, language goal behavior, LGB, to decouple skill learning from language grounding via an intermediate semantic goal representation. We also introduced Dexter, an instance of LGB which operates through three phases: a skill learning phase, GB, a language grounding phase, LG, and an action following phase, LGB. Dexter shows good behavioral diversity. In fact, for a given instruction from a social partner, Dexter is able to generate a whole set of diverse goals that respect the given instruction. Let's start with the first phase, the skill learning phase, GB. Dexter uses three main components. First, an init spatial predicate-based behavioral space, specifically based on two predicates, close and above, which are shown in preverbal infants and that we use to create semantic configurations that describe any possible scene of objects. Second, an automatic curriculum based on the aggregation of goals of similar difficulty and the selection of these goals according to the learning progress. Finally, an object-centered architecture that leverages deep sets. So during the GB phase, the policy of Dexter is conditioned on the semantic goals that it has discovered and that it tries to master. Moving on to the language grounding phase, a social partner describes one aspect of the transformations in object relations. Given such descriptions, we create a dataset to train a language-conditioned goal generator. So for a given instruction and an initial configuration of objects, the language goal generator is able to generate a whole set of compatible goals from which Dexter can sample one to pursue. Now Dexter is ready to follow instructions for the final phase. So the social partner gives instructions in natural language, then Dexter maps these instructions to semantic goal configurations that it tries to pursue. During the LGB phase, whenever Dexter fails to reach a configuration for a given instruction, it can sample a new valid configuration for the same instruction. If it fails again, it can try a new one, and so on until it succeeds. So the diversity learned in the behavioral space allows Dexter to try again whenever it fails. To conclude, our LGB architecture allows agents to learn on their own or with a tutor, and this is done through an intermediate semantic goal representation and a language-conditioned goal generator. Dexter is an instance of LGB that masters predicate-based goals like preverbal infants, grounds language into its learned behavior, and pursues instruction with high behavioral diversity. Thank you all for your attention, and please come and have a chat with us at our virtual posters. Here are some further links to our website or our codes. Thank you all again. See you.